Ladies and gentlemen, live from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Wednesday or Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for AEW Dynamite or Collision Event Center. And now here's the man that will bring you the happenings of AEW All Elite Wrestling action, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome once again to another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans in 1977, episode 2314 of the show. It is 3 p.m., June 12th, 2025. And this is episode 2314 of the show. We're going to talk about what happened last night on AEW Summer Blockbuster, a 4-hour event. I think because of what's going on Saturdays, we still got the NBA Finals on TNT. We got the hockey Stanley Cup Finals, as well as we're getting rolling here, and we're going to talk about some Blockbuster. It's all in Texas. Is going to be really, really insane. Christopher Daniels talks to Adam Page, warning him about the Death Riders, and as he walks, basically as he walks away to get ready to put his stuff in, probably ready to leave for the night, but he has to address the crowd. Moxley was overhearing a conversation and had the Death Riders follow Page. Meanwhile, Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland had a matchup, and they battled it out, and it ended up in being a time limit draw. That's how good this match was. But Strickland knows that him and Ospreay don't want to end like that, and they say sudden death. But speaking of death, the Death Riders ended up showing up after the matchup, and they're surrounding Will Ospreay. But then the Young Bucks attacked Strickland and Prince Nana, and then the Bucks stole Strickland's shoes, about to put them on their feet. But Will Ospreay at the last minute took the kicks for Strickland. And meanwhile, Renee Paquette interviewed Kazuchika Okada as he gets ready for his battle against Kenny Omega in a winner-take-all match for both the International and Continental Championships. Don Callis, though, interrupts Okada, asking him why not Fletcher, why not Takeshita, but Okada grabs his wrist, grabs him by the finger, and then Fletcher, Archer, and Takeshita show up to back up Don Callis, and Okada says the B word at him and walks away. And then the Hurt Business attacked Commander by the Hurt Syndicate. Excuse me, the Hurt Business, that was the WWE. The Hurt Syndicate, though, because they added MJF, attacked Commander, prompting Tony Khan to have Mascara Dorada to fill in for him against Jet Speed, against the Hurt Syndicate. And Mystico made his AEW debut, returned to go up against Blake Christian. Mystico won the matchup. The Hurt Syndicate comes out after the matchup, and MJF addresses the Portland crowd. Oh, by the way, my buddy Brandon Martin was at the event. Saw him last night on TV. He had a good pictures. He had a picture with Aubrey Edwards, one of the referees, and Alex Abrahantes, the interpreter or manager of Commander. And then I am jealous of Brandon Martin because he got a picture with Mina Shirakawa. I got to roast him on that tonight. I got to. I have to. And anyways, MJF addresses the Portland crowd, addresses Mystico. And Mystico wants to kick his butt next week at Grand Slam, Mexico, and in Mexico City. And then both men fight it out until Lashley and Benjamin attack Mystico. But then Jet Speed and Mascara Dorada fight with the Hurt Syndicate. They had their matchup, and the Hurt Syndicate ended up winning the matchup as MVP was joining on commentary, gets involved using his cane during the match, and then they attacked him after the matchup, but then. And then MJF succeeded in taking off Dorada's mask, but he dropped the mask and ran when Mystico attacked MJF, and Mystico walked away. Meanwhile, the Death Death Riders were attacking. When Hangman Adam Page was about to address the Portland crowd, the Death Riders attacked him by gagging him with duct tape. And Moxley says the reason why I wanted to do this because we can carry on a conversation. And then Page headbutts him and then they try to attack him again and about to do the Concerto thing until the Ops came in, making the make the Death Riders retreat as Page addresses John Moxley. Page grabs a chair and then decides to go after the Death Riders. What's the deal with the Death Riders? Women's tag team matchup. Tony Schiavone. Women's tag team matchup. Excuse me for just a second here. All right, women's tag team matchup. As TJ making their reunion after Tay Mello's been away for 2 years due to being a mother, which I think is true, which is really understandable. Gotta respect that. Going up against the team of Megan Bay and Penelope Ford, who were responsible for the injuries to the lovely Harley Cameron. When is she going to come back? I don't know. Well, right now, Anna Jay, no, she's already got Plan B, her best friend, Ty Mello. And TJ ended up picking up the victory over the team of Megan Bay and Penelope Ford. Then they have a special footage for when Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada had their rivalry. I think it was 7 years in New Japan. And Tony Schiavone oversees the Kenny Omega contract signing. And then the contract was signing with a new belt. That's right. The winner-take-all match. The winner of this matchup will be the first ever AEW Unified Champion. That's right. I think they're trying to avoid a lawsuit from the WWE. That's why they never called it the Intercontinental title. But they're calling it the Unified Championship. And so I think that's going to be a... So Don Callis interrupts the whole thing, complaining about, once again, why not Fletcher, why not Takeshita. Kenny Omega says, I know all your tricks. But he said, you know all my tricks, but not this one. And Okada blindsided him from behind. And then him and Don Callis continue. Don Callis has his police baton. He used it, and then all of a sudden, he brought out the stretcher. They put Omega in it, and Don Callis is trying to threaten security and medical personnel around him. And Kazuchika kind of dove off the apron and put an elbow right to the stomach. As you know, diverticulitis is like 2 feet of his intestines gone or something like that. And as Okada hits him, knocks him off the stretcher, Kenny Omega was spitting up blood, and it was a disturbing sight to see. I gotta talk to Brandon. I gotta ask Brandon about that tonight. About just because seeing it on TV is one thing, but seeing it live, it's gotta be another thing. And it was really, really disgusting. It was very disturbing, and everybody was ticked at Don Callis and Okada. They decided to run for it and head for it. They decided to run out of the arena. And, sorry, folks. Well, anyway, so, and then there was an SUV in the back for both Don Callis and Kazuchika Okada. They say, we better get out of here before they're going to kill us. And they both jumped in. Has Okada aligned himself with Don Callis' family? If that's the case, that's going to make the Don Callis family even more dangerous than it is now. So, then we go to the collision part of the Summer Blockbuster as they join on commentary. Adam Cole joins them as well. Speaking of Kyle Fletcher, he went one-on-one with the 5-tool player accompanied by Billy Gunn. And Fletcher ended up winning the matchup as Lance Archer attacked Billy Gunn at ringside, distracting Anthony Bowens. Carlos Cabrera addresses the Portland crowd as he introduces both Atlantis, the legendary luchador Atlantis Jr., but then FTR and that love child of Kevin Hart and Charles Barkley, Stokely Hathaway, decides to interrupt this whole respectful thing, and then the Atlantises decided they're getting sick of the disrespect. They started fighting FTR, and then when FTR had the upper hand, Adam Cole gets involved, and then the Don Callis family, Hechicero, Bandito, Templario and Brody King all join in on the fight. And I think that's insanity if you ask me. So, and some of them were helping out the Atlantises. Some were aligning themselves with Don Callis family. So Lexi Nair interviewed Brian Keith and Big Bill. They issued a challenge to any tag team out there to get some. So the Workhorsemen, that is J.D. Drake and Anthony Henry, said, hey, we want a matchup. And they say, you guys want a match? You got it. So Mercedes Moné, once again, comes out to do commentary, but to watch the next matchup, because it's a women's matchup, non-title, of course. And she's got her food out and everything else. And, it is the lovely Toni Storm, the AEW Women's World Champion, four-time champ, against former TBS champ Julia Hart. And Sky Blue decided to attack Toni Storm before the matchup, but then Aubrey Edwards says, "Get out of here." So they had their one-on-one matchup, and obviously Toni Storm did win the matchup. And then Mercedes Moné decided to attack Toni Storm after the matchup, but then the lovely Mina Shirakawa, once again, Brandon Martin, I'm jealous of you for having a picture with her, chases Moné off the ring, but Moné attacks her too. Here's an idea. If Mercedes Moné is going to attack Mina Shirakawa, Mina should challenge Moné to a TBS title match, let Mina Shirakawa win that title and take that title off her. And then Lexi Nair interviewed Ricochet as he's looking for people to recruit to help him win gold, but then Big Shotty Lee Johnson and Blake Christian wanted to talk to him and wanted to be part of it, and Ricochet goes, you guys are good, but you're not it. And he turns them down. Meanwhile, the conglomeration reunion, so to speak, is Tomohiro Ishii, the New Japan strong open-weight champ, teaming up with the former Ring of Honor World Champ Mark Briscoe and former TBS champ Will Nightingale as they face the MXM Collection and Tyler Valkyrie, accompanied by Johnny TV. And the team of Ishii, Briscoe, and Nightingale end up winning the matchup, and then Chris Statlander is frustrated when Will Yuta talks to her, and Chris Statlander just bumps into him and walks away. And then as Chris Statlander walks away, she and Marie Shafir had a stare down. Now, is Chris Statlander maybe considering joining the Death Riders? I hope not. Or is she considering wanting to fight somebody like Marina Shafir? So, because she tried to be making amends with Willow Nightingale, and that fell by the wayside. Meanwhile, Bandito, the Ring of Honor World Champ, against the Beast Mordos. And it looks like Bandito has some new friends in the Outrunners, or Los Outrunners. And Bandito ended up winning the matchup. And Renee Paquette interviewed Mercedes Moné, says she's challenging for the CMLL Women's Championship. And Zeuxis slaps her across the face, says challenge accepted. Yeah, so Zeuxis, who was part of the Mae Young Classic back in 2018, will face Mercedes Moné. And Moné is trying to get herself another title. Renee Paquette interviewed Hangman Adam Page, and was about to talk to Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay, until those two idiots, the Young Bucks, came up, and Hangman Adam Page about had enough. He said, "You two stay out of my way, you better stay out of Will Ospreay and stay out of Swerve Strickland's way." And then Prince Nana and Swerve Strickland were checking on Will Ospreay. He says, "You hear all that?" And he goes, Swerve Strickland, every single word of it. The situation gets more interesting. I don't know, a moment. And Paige is ticked off. I don't blame him. And Queen Aminata took on Thekla, and I forgot who won that matchup because I forgot to check the results, and I gotta get my pen here. Let's see, and let's see, AEW. Okay, let me check that out here. Let's see. All right. Yeah, so, Thekla did defeat, uh-oh. I knew it. I knew it. Let's see Brandon Martin. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
Also.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Told you, Gary. Told you. I told you. I'm not the only one who was jealous, Brandon. Yeah, so Thekla ended up winning the matchup by submission. I cannot believe that one. Yeah, I think. But then Lexi Nair interviewed Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne. And Kip Sabian says, I got something for you. And they had the video montage of Nick Wayne during the Super Juniors tournament. And he says, Christian's proud of you, but... and gave something to Nick Wayne to think about. So, and then the 8-man tag is the main event. Paragon, that's Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong teaming up with the former TNT champ, Daniel Garcia, with the current TNT champ, Adam Cole, against Hechicero and 3 members of Don Callis' family. You had Josh Alexander, Konosuke Takeshita, and Lance Archer. RPG Vice got involved as Daddy Magic was on commentary, and RPG Vice got involved, and the Don Callis family, and Hechicero, who basically says that he's joined the Don Callis family, ends up winning the match. So I just knew. I warned Brandon that I knew I'm not going to be the only one jealous of him getting a picture with Mina Shirakawa. Anyways, so that's all the time we have on this show. Thank you for tuning in. Next episode, it'll be another episode of Virtually Purchased Acquisitions, where I have 3 packages. All came in at once. I thought they would have came in separate, so this saves me a lot of trouble. So thank you for tuning in, and until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and do it for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.